Well, hello, another broadcast. I'm sorry if I look a bit tired, because I am. I've been up to 1, 2 in the morning all week in the office with the election broadcast going out. Very, very busy. Fantastic response. Well done to everybody who backed us. We also had a video out recently about our visit to Bradford and handing out Bibles and handing out these Muslim grooming gang leaflets to alert people to the problem of grooming gangs, mainly in the north of England and mainly coming from a certain section of the community. Now, that's not my opinion. That is the opinion of the courts, who have convicted dozens and dozens of Muslim paedophiles who work in gangs. Now, let's be honest here. Most paedophiles in this country are the same religion as me. They're Christian, they're white, and they're English. That's the reality. However, this gang culture, this grooming gang thing, is very much rooted in a certain section of the community from the Indian subcontinent. And that's the court statistics back that up. Anyway, we've been inundated. I think we've had 400 or 500 calls from very irate Muslims, again telling us how peaceful they are, but they're going to kill us because we dared walk into their mosque. And I think that's it in a nutshell. And you can talk about these things, but until you experience it, I'm talking about educated people phoning up. And the conversations normally are okay to begin with, but when they say, how dare you enter the precincts of our mosque? And I say, whoa, hold on. These were Englishmen in England, being nice, polite, mannerly, handing out Bibles and free literature and how to spot the signs of paedophile gangs and victims, and let's work together for the community. But because our lads did that in their own country, then the conversations turns to, well, if you ever come back to our mosque, we will kill you. We will kill you. Now, if a load of Muslims went into a Church of England or a Church of Scotland building or a Methodist church and said, look, here's some Qurans and here's some literature on paedophiles like Jimmy Savile and all the rest of it, I'm sure there wouldn't be hundreds of people phoning up the Muslim Council of Britain threatening to kill them, threatening to behead them, threatening to murder their people have said they're going to murder me and murder my children and have sex with my mother. Well, that'd be difficult. She's been dead 20 years and she was cremated, so I'd like to see how that would pan out. But we've been inundated. Absolutely, you've no idea. We have hundreds of calls from these people. And then we have the interesting case of the Mayor of Bradford, who, unknown to him, we film everything. So he has come out. We went to his door because he refused to meet us. His staff threw us out his office. As constituents who live there, some of our lads wanted to meet him. He refused. He said, no, not meeting you. These are Nazis, the usual. You're racist as usual. This has nothing to do with race. So anyway, we went to his home. We chapped his door very courteously, inquired if he was in. We were told he wasn't in. We said, okay, thank you very much, and left. Perfect gentleman with manners. He has went to the newspapers and said, Britain First rampaged in my house. Oh, it gets better. Searched it, went upstairs, searched it, abused my children, abused my wife, and left. Now this guy, this mayor of Bradford, is a Muslim, and he's supposed to be one of the mild Muslims. He's supposed to be one of the more moderate, the more progressive Muslims. This is a man who's in the highest public office you can get locally, a leader of his community, and here we see him barefaced lying. Now, unluckily for him, it's all taped, it's all on film. So if he has made a statement to the police of that effect, the same statement he's made to the newspapers, this man's going to prison. It's the same as Mr. Archer, Jeffrey Archer and Aitken, all these other political folk who think they're above the law and think they can tell lies to smear other people. And I would say to the Muslim community out there, Britain First is not against the Muslim community. You need to understand that, folks. We have good relations with most Muslims. There's not a problem. Most Muslims are fine. They're hard-working, they're tax-paying. It's not a problem. We have a serious problem with the violent elements, with the grooming gangs, and anybody else. So that's where the problem lies. Now, instead of attacking us, join with us, root these people out of your community. It's interesting that hundreds and hundreds of people call us because we dared walk into a mosque in our own country. And mosques are supposed to be open, public places where people can wander in. If they don't want English people in, put a sign up saying no English people allowed, and we'll respect that. But these are supposed to be open places. But it's ironic that this has provoked such fury and anger. Where was the fury and anger in the 7/7 bombings when 50 odd people were blown to bits by Muslims? Where was the anger there? Huh? Where was the newspapers with people leaving hundreds and hundreds of comments in the Telegraph, the Guardian, saying Britain first, lock them up, they're scum? Where was all these comments when Lee Rigby was butchered in the streets of Woolwich last year? Where was this righteous anger and indignation? You know, let's get things straight here. Let's get things perfectly straight. 10,000 people turned up in the streets of Bradford because a guy in another country, Denmark, drew a cartoon of the Prophet. You know, I don't like blasphemy at all, and I personally wouldn't probably have done that because I've got a respect for people's religion. However, 10,000 of them rampaging through the streets of Bradford, burning flags, jumping up and down, going like madmen. How many was in the streets of Bradford when the tube bombings happened, when the bus bombing happened, when the Glasgow bomb happened, when Lee Rigby was hacked to death in the streets of Woolwich? Where were they? Where were they? And this highlights the problem within the Islamic community in this country. They tell us they're moderate, they tell us they're okay, but we dare walk into their mosques, and we've got hundreds of people on our phone threatening our staff, threatening women to behead them, to rape them, to rape their children. Are you having a laugh? We've recorded it, we'll be making up a tape, it'll be getting passed to the police, but we'll also be putting it up on the social media so people can hear it and hear the abuse that we've had to get from these people. It's not on. Now, we don't blame all Muslims for that. You know, most Muslims are 100%, and I'm quite sure when the decent Muslims out there hear these tapes and hear the behaviour and the language from these people who are purporting to defend their faith, they'll be horrified and ashamed, because these people do not represent Islam. They do not carry a very good advert for it if that's the way they behave. But that's the reality. That's the times and days we live in. We will be making a report to the police. We noticed the police have got a team of detectives investigating the fact that we visited mosques. A team of senior detectives. The West Yorkshire Police have actually announced that. A team of detectives investigating what? English people in England handing out Bibles to another religion. You know, that's what people do. You know, we don't agree with your religion. Would you take our holy book, read it, and please, if you consider it, you're more than welcome to join our religion. That's called evangelising. We've been doing it, the British have been doing it all over the world for centuries. But there's a team of detectives now hunting us down because we dared do this in Bradford. Bradford, the last time I checked, was part of England. And if Britain First get anything to do with it, Bradford will be staying part of England, and you can threaten, you can do anything you want, you will not deter Britain First from our task. We mean no offence to any decent Muslims or the Muslim community, but we will not bow down to threats and intimidation by nutcases and lunatics. It's as simple as that. So to all the good people that support us out there, we thank you very much. To the decent Muslims out there, we would ask you to really rein your community in, speak to your elders, speak to people, and get them to try and behave and try and see that threatening people with violence is not the way ahead. Thank you.